if everybody's got a living system, and if we call it a worldview, and if it's the thing that is at the heart of life for them, and it's the thing guiding them, they would do well to discern it. And if you were to ask, well, what's the next good thing to do so far as worldview goes? It would be to survey your worldview. It would be to ask questions about who it is or what it is that's actually informing you on the daily. And for most people, that's bound to be a spate of social media inputs, messaging from their favorite influencers, a smattering of messages and principles that they got from their parents and their upbringing. Maybe they're part of a religious community, maybe they weren't. But the long and the short of it is that it's a hodgepodge of things. And so if we were to invite somebody to clarify their worldview, we would invite them to consider all of these sources. And then we would ask whether or not these sources actually intend to care for the one that they're informing, whether they have the well-being of the person in question in mind. And you look around you for very long and you find that well-being isn't something that the social media enterprise is supplying to you, or things on the nightly news, etc. They're merely meant to occupy your attention. And most people these days have a very occupied attention without having discerned why it's occupied in the way that it is. And so we would ask, what is the general intention of the people that are informing my life and the sources of information that are informing my life? In my clinical work, I worked with a lot of people struggling with addiction. And it's common in 12-step communities to hear speech about the committee. And what's meant there is someone who's recovering from addiction is contending with a host of thoughts and influences that incline them back to their drug of choice. And this is the committee, and we're trying to quiet that committee down and to make serious inquiries as to who ought to be on that committee. And that's who's taking up real estate in the space between my ears, right? And when a committee is undiscerned in the way that we're defining it, it will be a source of violence for you, because it will be a bunch of divided interests that can't find a lane together. And so we need something to anchor us in a principle or a cause that can gather the human person into a living flow. And so while everybody has a worldview, not all worldviews are equal in terms of their capacity to serve the one who holds them. Some worldviews are better than others as far as that goes. And clarifying who and what is in your committee is a good start to a clarified worldview.